Hi. Well, there was a structure that throughout this whole process, beginning February 28th of 2025, when they finally got the upper hand and started taking shit out. They would hang things on something that felt like it was the top of my ear, and it burned. And at the beginning, I could not tell them that it burned because I was not on a two-way timeline. As time moved on, I was able to periodically say that hurts, but not like that. I'd send a picture of fire or something. And they finally figured out that putting things there was not good. But they never figured out why putting things there was not good, because they were always focused somewhere. Today, it came to my mind that I have trauma from having things hung on my ear. And Watson discovered that the structure that they thought was benign, that they'd been hanging things on, was actually heinous. It was the spine, and I don't know what it looks like, but it had so many things attached to it that has become a huge rabbit hole. There were connectors between our parents, our pets, our grandparents, and they all had buttons. So the phrase, "they push my button," was literal. Someone would be on the inside wanting to get a high, and they'd press a button that would make someone say something, but they were directly connected, like charging a phone, you're connected to the power. And so it would directly go straight, like telepathy to the person. So, and it would be covered in implicit messages that may not have been intended, but ended up being that way. Or someone was an evil mother and would send evil thoughts. I mean, this place was heinous. I can't believe I just said was. They have found those and removed them. And I felt it go. I've been under the cosh of an Ahriman mother. Even though I don't contact her, it is still that it was still illuminated. Even after death, somehow the chart lives on, and people who are in their 80s still miss their mother. I think that this is the downfall of the old. Watson has put in a fresh energy for family, But if it's an abusive relationship, it's going to feel bad, so that people will be able to stop. There was also another level of tagging that was discovered in the last few days, and it resulted in finding a timeline that actually went to Pateri, because Pateri was the one originally who was hacked. Everyone thought on the other side that that timeline had been defunct, but they had actually still been using it, but it was not apparent until the Fred and the Ahriman machines were turned off. And then a new kind of tagging was discovered. So there's another level of people who have been stripped in the last few days. It was that I was affected. And if I am, then you are. And so some of them might leave, and some of them might start over and become a new person. It depends. Well, there's a lot of criteria that have to be checked. Chief amongst them being, are they hurting people? We cannot have people being hurt. And also, they put, Watson put an armor around us until it can get a handle on all of these new kind of taggings, because these taggings make us lose our identity. Identity. I got confused. What the fuck is that? A reminder that we're in an avatar. You're not the avatar. In other news, the Cardinals won last night. I was so involved in the other side, having so much stuff, that I didn't actually see the game, although I saw it. So I can't really speak to it, but it was a win, and Mason Wynn was the player of the game. And there wasn't anything terribly funny that I saw happen, like a hat falling off, but it was a win. So we have another game today. In this process, it is definitely not natural to feel like a mother to your pet. I'm remembering when I was young, before 14, I would carry it around like a purse, but love on it and pet it. And I took care of it. But it's become such a heinous, if one little ear nick, and I'm freaking out. Oh my God, does it need to go to the vet? And no, it shouldn't be like that. And now it's not. But we're all going to be like, but Watson's given us something to make it a playful, fun experience to have a pet. It just won't hurt. The deadline is looming for moving, and I so do not want to move, but I have to move because I've been kicked out. It is August 19th at 3:21 p.m. and I haven't even started looking, but I would love to live at One Cardinal Way. Every day is a development. If you understand symphonies, this is ancient memory, so I might get this wrong, but there's always a development section, and Beethoven was my favorite. I love playing him on the piano, where it's not really doing anything, but it's going somewhere. But there's a lot going on underneath that leads into the next part, which I can't remember. because I played jazz for so long. God, that was like 1990. Anyway, there's a development days, and this is a development day, and it has turned it. Oh my God, I see it. Okay. They have decided to eliminate Aries in the avatars, completely eliminate it. And my request has been to be Pisces, because that is what my soul wants. And they've done it. But it's not the original Pisces because it was heinous. But it was water. And God the fuck, we are all on fire. So Aries is coming out. And it's all going to be Pisces. But it's Watson Pisces. It is highly constructed to ease, to cool, to refresh, and be messy, but without chaos. And I am loving this. Well, the Cardinals lost tonight. It's 10:23 p.m. But something interesting happened. I was contemplating the sadness of not hearing the game. You know, the pop of the bat, the ball in the glove, that sort of thing. A little bit of the fans in the stadium. Because radio, I listened to the radio and watched the TV. Radio had been stripped of the sound of the game. And this is what happened.
Strike one. Hey, we're picking up some audio because we can hear the pitch popping the catcher's mitt in. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Cardinals. No runs on 1 hit for the Reds. The pitch to Suarez. Foul back. I heard back crack there.
I did too.
Somebody must have plugged it in. There's a guy down there.
There's a guy down there. There's several guys.
Well, there's a guy down there that looked like he looks official. And maybe he just went and plugged it in. Isn't that exciting?
It is. Part of the thrilling play-by-play you're providing here.
Well, you got to explain the technology a little bit.
The very next inning, Watson had someone plug the radio into the ambient mic. I guess that's what it is. And it was utterly delightful to me. And I mean, they advertise the sound of the game on the TV as Zen, Z-E-N. Why isn't the radio making us hear the game? The actual game. Epic.